So the triple Logoman was up for auction, Goldin Auctions. A lot of hype behind it. People saying $5 million, $3 million. I said $3 million. I think C-Rad said $100 million or something like that. And Dan said what, $5 million?
I think I said 6.
I think Cody said 5.
I think I said 4 or 5. Yeah.
So I won.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about it last week. It's just not that big of a deal. Just.
It's a big deal in the hobby.
Hobbies moved on.
No, man. We moved on. We moved on from this card. We're on to the next biggest and greatest card coming out.
But it's funny that the hype had us all thinking it's a $5 to $6 million card. I mean, I even heard Shine offered $3 million before it was pulled. Now, obviously, he must have not got involved in this auction. But if nobody would have set a price, I think we would all have been like, holy crap, it sold for $2.4 million.
You think the potential damage on the card affected what the final sell price was?
That's definitely a conspiracy that the card, and I can't confirm. I've tried to find pictures. It almost looks like the card came out without damage, and then somehow before it was graded, it got damaged on the Cavaliers window. Don't know exactly what happened there. I did do a slide on my phone that I posted on my personal Twitter. Is you have that of when it was pulled, and then you have that after it was graded.
Yeah, you don't see the indent. There's like a little scratch indent on the sapphire foil on the other.
So now
photo.
people, I tweeted it out. I tagged our buddy Ivan at Watch the Breaks on Twitter. I tagged him in it, and he was saying it's there. It's just the lighting.
I actually see more white on the left side of the logo.
And Cody, because Cody can't see it either. But yeah,
I know what you're talking about, though. I've seen.
Yeah, you got it. And then if you go back to the other one and zoom in, there seems to be less white. Like, did the patch shift?
I was trying to figure out at what point why there would be any reason for anybody to damage this thing. Because
nobody did intentionally.
If you were the breaker, you would never take it out, right? Because for those guys that aren't familiar with Flawless, that card was encased. So it's uncirculated. That's what the word uncirculated means. Is it's got the Flawless sticker on it. It's in a magnetic. So there's at no point the breaker would ever actually physically touch the card. The breaker wouldn't be putting a sleeve on it, because I know a lot of people in the comments were saying it was sleeve damage. So I was like, no, it's not sleeve damage, at least by the breaker. So now, once it got from the breaker, and I think the people that hit it flew out and took pictures with it, the 3 people involved, and then at some point it went to PSA, and it got labeled authentic. So now the conspiracy theory is, well, that's why it was authentic, because the patch was damaged. So it would have got like a 6 or a 7 or maybe an 8, and it would have looked bad. So they went with an authentic PSA grade as opposed to actually a grade. But it clearly looks like to me that it wasn't damaged when it got pulled. So how do you damage that? Why would you want to take out the patch?
I need to see another photo of the card now.
Yeah. Trying to find the other pictures of it.
We're getting all your flight information,
yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. See, I had the before. I had the before and after together here too. To me, it clearly looks like the after is damaged and the before is not.
To me, it also looks like the patch shifted.
But it's also could be the angle of the picture, right? So.
But I'm like, could the patch have shifted and damaged, creased the card underneath? Get what I'm saying? Like could there have been underneath, like the damage is actually from underneath, and you're noticing it on the foil, but it actually got caught underneath, when it shifted.
Maybe pushed it up a little bit. I mean, and this is the same Logoman, right?
Yep.
Looks clearly like you see the line on the leg.
A lot of the lines match up. Same.
Yeah, the end looks the same, right?
The stitching on it all looks the same.
I mean, I don't know why any reason why you would take the patch out, but it actually looks like on the before, though, it looks like there's more threads. But it could just be the picture.
It does. I don't.
It's probably the picture.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, regardless, $2.4 million. Some of the excuses of why it went for that price is because of the damage to the Logoman. I mean, in this instance, does the damage matter? It's a 1 of 1, right? Unless it's really, really damaged.
There's a reason why they didn't get this graded and just got it authenticated.
There's also, I think if you zoom in, you could see right there above the screw line, there's a little bit of an indent. So there's definitely some imperfections. on the card itself, which is common with Flawless, which is ironic because it's not flawless in a sense.
That like from that photo, it's super noticeable on the Sapphire that like there is a ding.
I mean, it could be a phone picture. No, that's that's a Goldin photo, so it's a high quality scan. It could be just that. I don't know. But yeah, obviously it's clearly damaged on the left side. But there was a lot of big spenders that came out and said that this is a $5 million card. Shine saying he's going to pay $3 million. Why did it go for $2.4 million? Is that a fail?
And Goldin put a lot of marketing dollars behind it.
Right. And that's 2.4 with the buyer's premium. I think it ended at 2.1 technically. So I think you add another $300,000 for the buyer's premium, which is silly to say.
Yeah, that's you got to keep the lights on.
$300,000 for facilitating
very,
the card.
Very expensive electricity.
I think that I had pretty big thoughts that this was going to sell a lot, and that would sell for more than it did, I should say. But maybe our standards need to shift here, and that we can say in this market, the fact that sold for $2.4 million is still probably a huge win. And I mean, again, take yourselves back to the beginning of 2020 and to 2019, and if you were told this card is going to sell for $2.4 million, does not have a LeBron James autograph on it, and there may be some discussion that has a ding,
non-rookie,
and it's still going to sell for that much. That's still a massive win.
I think it sells for more. I think it sells for more back then. I think in 2020 this sells for look what everything was selling for.
I think at the peak of it for sure, but like before that. But nonetheless in 2021, if this sold last summer, it's probably a $5 million card.
Could be 10.
Let's get in the DeLorean and let's say it's 2012. What does this card sell for in 2012?
About 80,000.
Yeah, maybe
50, maybe.
Can any of us that had been breaking, which we were in the hobby back then, can anybody ever see a modern card selling for $2.4 million? That's what's crazy about it, is like the hobby's let down that it only sold for $2.4 million, bust. But it's like 5 years ago, nobody could ever imagine a card selling for over $1 million. Out of a pack.
And I don't think that this the last time this card is going to exchange hands. Like I think it's going to sell again, and probably when things turn around, if they turn around, economically, I think it still probably sells for more than that $2.4 million price tag.
You know what's funny, and I don't take this as advice because it's not, but there was a Warren Buffett article that came up and that somebody asked him where they should invest their money in this market. And he said sports cards. No, he didn't. But he said fine art. He actually said fine art, which is...
You can put that under that category, couldn't you?
I would.
I don't want to say, like, take all your money out of your 401k and out of your stocks and go buy triple Logomans, but I'm just saying.
That's kind of like a subjective. Like, what the hell is fine art, man?
Right.
I mean, a Picasso's a Picasso, 100 years from now, 10 years ago.
But to me, Picasso is worthless. Like, I don't care about Picasso. So I wouldn't pay $10 for a Picasso.
Hot take.
Probably do it.
What's Pablo Picasso ever done? Did Pablo Picasso put up 50 points against the Celtics in Game 6?
Man.
In the Eastern Conference Finals? I think not.
Yeah. Does Picasso have 3 Logomans on 3 different teams?
Did LeBron James cut his ear off?
I think it's Van Gogh.
It's Van Gogh, but history of art going down.
So we had some other notable sales. Were these also in the same Goldin auction?
Yes.
So what do we got here?
Some other notable sales. I'll get them up on the slide here. The 1/1 flawless RPA Anthony Edwards sold for $426,000.
That blows my mind.
Yeah. A BGS 9.5 orange Mike Trout sold 2009 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout sold for $228,000. And in what was actually a pretty big dip, I think I've seen some other folks cover this. The 86 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 10 sold for $204,000.
You can
but
buy,
it was a pretty substantial.
But the reason
dip.
why that Trout sold for another $100,000 was the diamond.
Yes, that's right.
The Mike Baker diamond.
I apologize. The diamond. Yeah.
It would have been $100,000, but Mike Baker put that.
But
sticker
you could
on
almost
there.
buy. the Trout and the Jordan
Yeah.
instead of buying the Anthony Edwards.
But the Anthony Edwards is the second best card of all time of his.
Yeah, it's a flawless. It's not NT.
There's 25 Trouts and there's countless numbers.
Yeah, but
There's
I mean,
170
are we
Jordans.
comparing the career of Anthony Edwards to
No, I'm
to
saying
Michael
that
Jordan?
it would be a number to 2 Trout or a number to 2 Jordan, basically. I would never pay $426,000 for.
I mean,
Anthony
and you
Edwards,
know,
I'm just saying.
I was talking big about Anthony Edwards. I think that card went for way more.
What would you think it would have went for if you didn't see that price?
180 maybe.
So with that being said, I mean, the Mac Jones should be more that we pulled than what, you know. I know basketball sells more than football. Is that in line, C-Rad? Is that price right?
I guess.
Is that price going to stay if they get Rudy Gobert, which I saw some rumors swirling? Minnesota might be getting Rudy Gobert.
Listen, I think
which would be
Ant-Man's
wild.
going to be a great player, too.
Yes.
But he's still on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that organization has a lot of proving to do.
Yeah.
$500,000.
By the way, the LeBron Exquisite RPA,
So for
2.1 million.
Number to 23, though, right?
Yes.
So wasn't there, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a number to 23 one that sold for like $5 million?
Yep, there was. Now, that was a 9. I think this was, what, an 8.5? BGS 8.5?
And was that 23, I think, maybe?
No, I don't think it was.
No?
No.
not
that's a-
no the
one
one
that's
the one
sold-
that's sold for $5 million. I think was 23.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So maybe it was the number, like technically the 101 version of that particular card.
That's
They're
what I
all
get.
they're all 101s. I mean, if you want to break it down, whatever number this was, there's only one of that number.
Haha.
I'm just saying.
That is surprising, though. The freaking Anthony Edwards at $426,000. I mean, that explains why flawless prices have gone down a little bit because even that one's gone. Now, the LaMelo auto,
Has been pulled.
it's been pulled too.
Scarelli.
So then that should be worth the same amount, if not more,
Hey,
right?
it should be worth more, right?
I think the same. I think I've seen Timberwolves actually sell for more than Hornets recently.
Really?
Yeah, after the playoffs, I think,
Sentiment has
I think they're pretty much
switched
on
to
equal footing.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
If anything, they're even now.
Yeah.
It was because he was in that Adam Sandler movie. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, he
if
was good.
LaMelo was just in that movie, it would have been the same amount.
He was good, too.
He was.
Kermit Wiltz, was that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie.
The orange refractor, is that down? I feel like the Mike Trout orange number to 25, I feel like
both those cards are down.
Vegas
The
Dave.
Jordan
I
and-
feel like Vegas Dave sold one for more than that a few years ago. I feel, but I could be wrong.
I think it is
I feel like that
down
orange is
overall.
down.
Yeah.
Definitely down.
But I mean, Mike Trout. What are the Angels again this year? They're
But
not doing great, right?
and he's having a good year.
He's having a great year. Actually, did you see the other night?
And
It was
and Ohtani's having a good year.
Yep.
Like I don't. What is wrong with that team? Like how do you have so many players have
No one-
great years and put it together and then the
They-
team just sucks?
they, other than Ohtani, they can't pitch. Also, they don't have a very good lineup outside of those two guys.
I think Ohtani should probably starting 3 to 4 games a week.
Yep.
Like pitching.
There was even last night they lost, and it was a Trout hit a home run, Ohtani hit a home run, and had like 3 RBIs. They lost like 12-4.
Don't they have Syndergaard?
They have Syndergaard. He's
not
actually
been
doing
playing.
all right.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
back.
doing all right.
So he's doing okay as well.
Yeah.
So who is not? there ha-
Rendon's
there-
not doing it. He's hurt, right?
Rendon is hurt. He's been a massive disappointment. The bullpen, which they tried to fix, has been awful. And past Syndergaard and Patrick Sandoval, they don't have anybody in that rotation. And again, other than maybe 2 guys in that lineup, the rest of the lineup is bad.
And who's the coach right now?
Well,
Now it's Phil Nevin,
and
who
there
just
was-
got suspended 10
Oh, that's
games
right.
because of
And-
that huge brawl.
and they had
last
and
week.
Taylor Ward was doing pretty good.
Taylor
Beginning-
Ward's doing well, but he's been hurt.
Brandon Marsh.
Not doing that well.
I know people are buying Trout, and this might be blasphemous because he's hobby golden boy when it comes to baseball. But like, say he's got like 8 more years, right? He's got 8 more years to play, and he retires. And can he break any records if he doesn't win any championships? Like, his price has got to go down, right? I mean, what are we gonna have to say if he retires in
Well, this
19
is-
years or whatever of playing baseball?
But we're going to be able to. probably hands down the best player of his generation.
But what, 2 MVPs, right? Does he have 2 MVPs?
I want to say 3, but at
3?
least 2.
Well, I mean,
He never won a batting title, right? He hasn't won a batting title. Never been in a playoff game. I think he played in 1 playoff game.
One
right?
playoff series, and we all have as many hits in the playoffs as Mike Trout does, which is 0.
So I'm searching for 30 years down the line. People are gonna be like, yeah, I got this Trout, and people are gonna be like, well, what did he do?
I think there's this is maybe the generation. I think there are going to be certain baseball fans who are going to say, oh, he is going to be, if there's any record he sets, maybe the most wins above replacement of all time, which is, I think, something he could do. But I think there's also going to be a generation gap between fans who go, okay, so what? What'd you wins above replacement? Well, you didn't win anything. You didn't win a World Series, So that might be the counter argument to that. But I think that is one firmly within his sights.
Yeah. I think Ruth has it, and then it's Bonds, right?
Yeah, but it's not like a classic.
He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He can retire. He can retire tomorrow.
He'll be a first
ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, I'm trying to think about the guys that have retired that sell well in the hobby. Did Griffey win a title?
No.
Okay.
This is what Trout got to do, dude, to sustain his prices after he retires. His last contract, his last 10 years in the league, he has to go to the New York Yankees, something like that.
But that might hurt his rookie cards because then he's not going to be on the Yankees.
I think he would do just fine.
All right, so a little baseball what ifs, and you think it's going to happen? I do. Harper and Trout, do they play on the same team together in their career?
As old men, yeah.
I was sure it was going to happen when Harper got signed there. I was sure that the Angels are going to, because there was, I think before Harper signed, there was some talk that Trout's contract expires in a year or 2, and then they went and signed him to a massive extension. But there's still a part of me.
In their late 30s, we're going to have Harper and Trout and Chris Bryant on the same team.
Right back.
But, I actually thought Trout might wind up in Philly with Harper because of the Philly connection for Trout.
He's a Philly guy, yeah.
How's his contract? It's 10 years or something, though, right?
It's literally the most expensive contract in baseball, I think.
Yeah, so if you're the Phillies, you're probably not.
You're going to have 2 of the 3 most expensive deals in baseball on your team.
Yeah, you have nobody else. Yeah. So you have no pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why but I guess if you look at Griffey being the face of, the resurgence of the 89 and, Upper Deck and all that and how well liked he was, I guess you can kind of put Trout in that same category in the 2000s to 2020s. I guess, right?
Yeah, I think
2010s to 2020s would be Trout, similar to Griffey. So I guess there's that hope. I'm just looking at if you have some big cards and he just goes his whole career without winning anything,
the worst.
But again, how much does a championship change your hobby prices?
Yeah,
it doesn't. I mean, we talk about it all the time. I know we talk about Buster Posey all the time. It doesn't. He won 3 championships. Doesn't change his card value whatsoever.
True.
What do you have to do in baseball? It almost seems like your card values are going to be at their peak with the uncertainty of what you're going to do in your career at where Wander is right now and where Juan Soto is at and where Ronald Acuna is at in their career. That's their peak when it comes to monetary value for their cards.
I think Trout is kind of the formula for how you maintain it. It's that you come in with massive hype and then you immediately capitalize on it, and then you just start racking up awards and awards and awards. You're among league leaders all the time.
He didn't have hype coming in.
Then that might be the other part of it too. Is either you come in kind of like Juan Soto, where you kind of came in out of nowhere and immediately wins a World Series, immediately is racking up awards, and so I think I think that's probably it. It's you have to get out of the gate really fast, a hot start, and maintain it for a huge amount of time to where then you're just
When did he win his first? Did he win an MVP early? Trout, did he win one in 2012?
I want to say his second year. He was second place because it was the Miguel Cabrera Triple Crown year. Was his rookie year.
So he won one early, which I think solidified his hobby. And a lot of people were jumping in because in 2009 he was I think he's 26th pick, 27th pick in the 2008 draft.
He won the Rookie of the Year in 2012, finished second in MVP voting his first 2 years, and then won 2014, won again in 2016.
So he definitely
he's won in 2019, so he's got 3.
So he definitely had the hype in his rookie year. I guess I should say as a prospect he didn't have the hype, and he actually got sent down. So he got called up and sent down. I think, which a lot of people were like, "Oh man, he's just going to be a bust." But he came out in 2012, won the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I want to add too. When I first got back in the cards, in 2012, 2013, I was always confused, like, as the years passed, like, because I'm not a huge baseball guy, and I broke baseball, but not too much, before I joined Mojobreak. But I was always confused, like, why is Mike Trout the main guy? And I would look like that's when I started to realize, like, oh, like you guys say, like, championships, world championships, series championships really don't matter, because I'm like, this is the high, like, everybody wants his cards. He's the most expensive guy in baseball, and I was always trying to figure out why, because when you look at football and basketball, it's like the championships really do add value to the guys' cards.
Baseball doesn't seem to matter as much.